Why do you not have Miami? It's my question.
So I think trenches in offensive line, defensive line win football games. And Mario Cristobal is one of the best offensive and defensive line minds in college football at the head coaching position. But they lose Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor, both first-round picks on that defensive line. They were the anchors, they were the rocks, they were the cornerstones of that defense, of that team in their playoff run last year, and they were oh so close to beating Indiana. They lose both of them. I find it hard to replace two studs like that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hammy Show. We've got a very special guest with us today. I'm your host, Hammy Culpepper. We are presented by First American Bank and Trust, and of course today is Wednesday at Willie B's. We do this every single Wednesday of the entire college football season. We are absolutely juiced to be here. It's going to be an awesome, awesome college football season, and we've got an awesome show for you today. We're introducing somebody new to the show. It's going to be great, and then we're talking about all sorts of college football landscape topics, college football playoff brackets, conference champions, Heisman picks, whatever you have in mind. We're probably going to cover it in this episode, but I want to talk about my friends at Willie B's first. Willie B's is your party headquarters. It's perfect for family meals, box lunches, and event catering, offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. From small office lunches to a full-service food truck, Willie B's has you covered. Keep us in mind for game day. There's 2 locations in Athens and 1 in LaGrange. The 2 in Athens are on Lexington Road and Jefferson Road. We're at the Lexington Road location every single Wednesday. Stop in to taste the difference, and you can download the app and earn a free Coop Witch on your very first order. So a huge shout out to Willie B's and a huge thank you to them for sponsoring our Wednesday show every single Wednesday of the college football season. But let's get to the episode. We've got an awesome, awesome guest with us. I would like to formally introduce the first ever inaugural Hammy Show intern. This is Faith Stokes. Thank you so much for coming, Faith. We're going to have an awesome college football season. You'll be seeing a lot more of her face on social media, on YouTube, whatever. But Faith, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It's going to be really fun, this year.
It is. It's going to be awesome just talking college football with you. Hopefully we'll have you on the show plenty of times, and then on social media we're going to be all with Faith throughout the college football season. But Faith, I want you to introduce yourself to the people. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you're in at school, all that good stuff. Just tell me about yourself.
Yeah. So I am currently a junior at the University of Georgia. I am a journalism student, minor in sport management, certificate in sports media. I'm from Marietta, Georgia, and this past summer I was actually in Cape Cod, working with the Cape Cod Collegiate Baseball League. I worked for Orleans. I did social media and marketing with them, which is super fun, super awesome. So this year I'm just going to be doing social media for you, working with football, baseball, all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So I want to talk about Cape Cod because I think that is the coolest summer of all time, going up and covering some summer league baseball. And you dealt with some pretty cool players. We'll get into that. But tell me about your experience in Cape Cod and what it was like on the social media side of things for that team.
Oh, for sure. Well, in general, the Cape is beautiful.
Yeah.
Weather was perfect. Nothing like the humidity we have here. But I met so many awesome people. You've got guys coming on the roster, leaving every other week, too. It's very competitive. Scouts at every game. We have a whole section for them. We actually played at Fenway Park one day.
Oh, that's
awesome. Which was super cool.
That is so cool.
So we've got some guys got drafted halfway through the season, with the MLB draft. Someone on our team, Adrian Beltre Jr., you might recognize the name Adrian Beltre. His son was on Orleans, so that was really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, Adrian Beltre was at some games, so you get to know them, get to know the players and things like that. So
very, very cool.
Yeah.
So 2 guys, I know we're here in Athens, so we got to talk about some dogs. But Joe Nottingham, left-handed pitcher. No, he's right. Is he right-handed or left-handed?
That's right.
Right-handed. He was I can't remember what year he was at Georgia, but first year on the roster here in Athens last season. Didn't see much of him when he came in. You could see the intangibles. You could see that he's got the stuff and going to be a promising pitcher one day. But I've heard so many great reports from Cape Cod. You, of course, saw it firsthand of his improvement. Talk about Joe a little bit as we look forward toward baseball season in the spring.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah, Joe's awesome. He's a really cool guy. He's really fun to be around. He's a great teammate. He came in a little bit halfway through the season, so he wasn't on the start with us. But as he progressed, he started to pitch more innings, did a lot better, got more comfortable on the mound.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be a great addition. He got hurt at Georgia early on, so I think this coming season this will be a big one to look out for his name.
Yeah, I mean, every single college baseball account that I follow on Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever, they're hyping him up.
Yeah.
And like he showed some stuff this summer that seemed very promising. I've seen a couple highlight clips. I'm sure you were probably behind the camera filming them. But I'm pumped for him. I'm pumped for the Georgia baseball roster. And then another one is Matthew. I can never say his name right.
Kushis.
Okay, so he is a transfer from Wichita State.
Wichita State.
And coming in to this Georgia team. Georgia, of course, bringing in the #1 transfer portal class. A lot to look forward to this coming spring after an Omaha run last year. But he was one of those big-time portal gets. Talk about him a little bit, what he did this summer in Cape Cod.
So he was only with us in the beginning for a little bit, but when he was great on the mound. He's a big guy. He's a lot bigger than what normal pitchers are for Georgia, at least right now. So I think he's going to produce a lot of promising innings, a lot of good innings. He did well over the Cape. So it'll just be interesting to see how he comes in with this new transfer class.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's so cool what Wes Johnson has done with these transfer portal guys. I mean, last year, of course, we go to Omaha, and other than Trey Phelps and Colby Branch, it was kind of a roster filled with transfers. But he's taken on that kind of like Lane Kiffin college football approach of just stacking in the transfer portal, not really focusing on the high school recruiting, and you get guys that have experience. And I thought the neatest part was I talked to Colby Branch before last season, and I asked him, I was like, you have all these transfers, like, how do you kind of mesh as a team? Like, I know you have, like, incoming freshman classes that you have to mesh with out of high school, but, like, when you have it in transfers, like, you're all going to be the same age, some even older, but you're still the leader on the team. Like, how does that work? And he was like, dude, we are just best friends. Like, it was like, I don't know how it works, but it just works. And so it's really cool to see. It's a testament to what Wes has done with this Georgia baseball program. But I want to talk a little bit more about you. So what year are you at Georgia? I know you answered that, but I can't remember. And then sports media. You're in the sports media program. That's kind of how we met. But yeah, talk about your experience at Georgia so far.
Yeah, so I'm a junior, going to my third year. Busy semester this semester for sure, especially with football. Our home game schedule is not as great, and unfortunately, I got the red ticket package, which is the bad one.
Oh dang.
Yeah, but going forward, I want to do. I originally wanted to do sideline reporting starting off, and then this summer my mindset kind of shifted with the social media marketing aspect. So I'm really just trying to expand my skill set in everything. I like to do in-depth, but I also like the fun, engaging, creative content, which is a lot of what I did this summer.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking to build on that resume, just keep getting more skills under my belt.
That's awesome. It's so cool what Georgia has done with the sports media program. Obviously, Vicky Michaelis, Carlo Finley, the two greatest professors I ever had at Georgia, my time there. But they've really taken on the, like, I guess, a new mantra of journalism, which is you can't just be a photojournalist or a video journalist. You can't just be a producer or on camera. You gotta have it all. Like, you have to have all of it on your tool belt. So it's awesome that you're getting to do kind of everything all around the sun for sports media. So school, Georgia, what is like the overall vibe right now? I know you just got back from Cape Cod, back in school, but like, what is kind of like the feeling around campus? Is it just like absolutely electric? Is everybody pumped for football season?
Yeah, I mean, it is electric. I was itching to get back. Cape is beautiful, but Athens, I mean, there's nothing better. There's nothing better than Saturday in Athens for sure. But yeah, everyone's really excited. Like I just mentioned, the ticket package came out, so a few people are up in arms about that. But yeah, we're really excited. Greek life. I live right off of Millage, so everyone's super pumped for tailgates for Saturdays. I think we're expecting to have a really great season this year. Yeah. So fans are excited.
It seems like, I mean, everybody in Athens, it kind of feels like we're being underrated by the national media, but like here in Athens, it's electrified. Like everybody's pumped up. Obviously, football is like the lifeblood of this town, so it's awesome. All right, so I want to ask about your career real quick. If there's anybody in sports media that you look up to or like want to aspire to be, who is that in the sports media world?
Okay. I'm going to give you two answers.
Okay.
One being Holly Rowe, sideline reporter. She's best. She's truly best of the best. I guess you could say, the starting would be Erin Andrews, but I love Holly Rowe. I think she's so knowledgeable, and she just proves herself time and time again. And also Heather for college football. I mean, she knows everything, knows everyone there is to know. So I think her knowledge and Holly Rowe's skill set is kind of what I aspire to have.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Those two are the greatest. I feel like it's always important to have kind of those people that you idolize and put on a pedestal that you aspire to be. I've got a couple of those. I know that you'll get there one day, so it's going to be awesome to watch. But pumped to have you on and have you for the rest of the year and talking college football. So let's get into college football. Let's talk about this season. So the biggest headline that is dominating, and I know we wanted to talk about this. We talked a little bit about it before, but NFL players are coming back to college football. It's the stupidest thing in my opinion. I think it is absolutely asinine that these coaches are allowing it. We of course see Daquan Wright, former tight end at Ole Miss, goes to the Browns, I believe, and is playing does their fall camp, their mini camp, whatever, rookie camp, and plays in a preseason game, and now he's back playing college football. It's stupid. It is just stupid. So I want to hear your take on this whole what could rattle college football for the foreseeable future if this continues to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't think this is what's best for college football. And I think it was interesting listening to Lane Kiffin yesterday. You know, he went on Pat McAfee and started talking about how he thought they shouldn't go and get that professional experience and then come back. But then also, AJ posed a question, you know, what do these players have under their belt when they come back to a college team? And he says, oh, they're a little bit more experienced.
Yeah.
But he's okay with that. So I think a lot of people are confused. There's some hypocrisy going around, but I don't think it's what is best for college football. I think college football is truly the most electric place in sports, and the reason that being is the traditions, the rivalry. You know, if we stray away from that and we take guys that played in the league and come back, it kind of ruins that whole aspect.
It is. You just hit the nail on the head. I can't put it into words better than that. But, like, what is so great about college football, in my opinion, I heard this a long time ago, but when we say we're fans, we say we are a Georgia Bulldog, right?
Yeah.
And we are, because we graduated from the University of Georgia, or we're going to the University of Georgia currently. Like, the alumni base can say we are a Georgia Bulldog. Whereas if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, an Atlanta Falcons fan, a Cleveland Browns fan, whatever, you can say, oh, we are a Cleveland Brown. No, you're not. You didn't play. You didn't play, you didn't coach, you weren't on staff, at least for the general public. And I think that is the neatest part about college athletics, what makes it so special. Now, you got these guys going to the NFL, and they're saying, we are a Cleveland Brown, we are an Atlanta Falcon, whatever. And once you are that, you can't come back. You can't be we are an LSU Tiger again. Like, it behooves me, it pisses me off. But the best thing I saw yesterday, but I'm saying it today, was Kirby Smart. He took the stand and said what every single probable college football fan, at least that has a good head on their shoulders, said what everybody is believing, and that is the guys we have on our roster earned their spot. We recruited them out of high school, or we got them out of the transfer portal legally, not illegally, and they came on campus, they earned their spot, and that's the thing with college football. There's only finite roster spots on these rosters, and it sucks to see that Daquan Wright is going to come to LSU and take some freshman or take some transfer portal kid his roster spot, his scholarship, and it's so stupid to me, and it pisses me off for those kids. And so that's why this is the best thing I saw today, is because Kirby said what everybody wants to hear in college football right now. At the end of the day, I think we just need to start playing college football, because the drama, the talking season, it's getting so old and everybody is so tired of it. Like, let's just suit up, let's buckle our chin straps, and let's get on the gridiron and play some ball. But the best thing I saw today is brought to you by Backer. The best thing will see every single day is a Backer jacket. Whether it's the dry one, the cool one, or the warm one, they have every single jacket to combat what Mother Nature throws at you. Backer's the best brand for the outdoorsman of a college football fan. Whether it's toughing out the heat in September for one of those early slated games here in Athens, or it's bundling up for that Thanksgiving rivalry week game against Georgia Tech when the leaves start falling off the trees and the temperatures drop. They have every single jacket for every single bit of weather that Mother Nature throws at you. It's all logo branded gear. It's got the Power G and 3 separate of those, the dry one, the cool one, and the warm one. And ladies and gentlemen, the Backer jacket is the best thing you will see every single day. And to throw it in, they've got some hat options too. So Backer, we appreciate you for bringing us the best thing we saw today. I want to talk about our friends at the Vinyl Frontier as well. Another great partner of the Hammy Hammy Show. It's the best record store in all of America, right in Carrollton, Georgia, the city of dreams on the town square. If you're going down I-20, you got to stop off and go to Carrollton to see the Vinyl Frontier. It's the best location on the square. It's all about the experience, going in, hearing these records, listening to it on vinyl, talking to Quigs behind the counter, and figuring out what type of music you like and you want to buy. And Quigs knows everything about music. It's absolutely insane. But if you can't make it to Carrollton, Georgia, visit thevinylfrontier.com and you can find any record that has ever been printed in the entire universe. So, the Vinyl Frontier is tuning up the Hammy Show all season long, and we are a proud partner with them.
What's up, everybody? I wanted to remind you to hit that subscribe button. It's what keeps the lights on here at the Ham Cave, and we want to help you so you help us. If you hit that subscribe button, you can stay up to date on all of the Hammy Show content we put out here on YouTube. It's the best content in all of sports, my friends, and if you hit that subscribe button, we can keep doing this for you. So, hit that little tiny subscribe button. It doesn't sign you up for anything. It just keeps you up to date. Thank you so much, and let's get back to the show.
So, Faith, let's get back to college football talk. Texas. I feel like this is a monumental year for them. Obviously, they have Arch, and the hype is unprecedented, really, around him for a single college football player. That name on the back of his jersey carries some serious weight. But as for the program as a whole, Sark has brought in a roster that he believes is probably the best one he's had while he's been in Austin. Is the Texas hype warranted, or is it a little over-exaggerated, in your opinion?
You know, I would say this is Sark's best chance that he has. And Manning he just got to get more comfortable.
Yeah.
We saw that throughout the season. There was some rough patches here and there, but I think he's finally now gonna prove the name on the back of his jersey. I think he's finally gonna be able to show that, and I do agree that this roster is probably the best they've got coming into this year. I think Texas and Georgia are gonna be the only two SEC true contenders this year.
Yeah.
And I think that Arch will be able to prove himself.
Yeah, I mean, I think Arch has to take that step forward, obviously, for them to be one of those national title contenders. But I'm pumped to see him. At the end of the year, you really saw, like you said, that progression, that more comfortability in this offense. And then they go to the transfer portal and just get absolute studs all over the field, whether it's Cam Coleman at receiver, their two running backs, and Raleek Brown and Hollywood Smothers. So I am on the Texas train this year. I actually picked them to win my national championship.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I am riding Texas high, but I do understand the general public of a college football fan being pissed about this, because what happened last year with all of the hype, they entered the season #1, and Arch is obviously a Heisman favorite, and he has not really played a meaningful snap entering last year. He's the projected #1 overall pick. He, of course, doesn't even go to the NFL. I get it, but now I feel like they're almost underrated. I thought that it would be a little bit more so like last year. Maybe not the #1 overall team entering the season, but Arch would be a Heisman favorite, which he is. He's at the top of the odds markets, but I just really thought the hype would be more. And they've got him at #5 in the preseason AP poll. I just think that's a little underrated. I think this Texas team is going to be unreal. I think they're going to be a super fun watch, and they're going to be Georgia runs the SEC right now, back-to-back SEC champs, and we've owned Texas. But I think this is the year they can give Georgia a run for their money. Is Georgia a serious problem for Texas, or is that just kind of like some stupid hypothetical thing that college football fans love to talk about?
No, I think they are. I was at the Texas-Georgia game last year, and that was the best game I went to all season because it was unreal electric. I mean, I'm sure you know. But I don't know. Where would you put Texas in your preseason poll?
I've got them at 4. So I'm not they're not too far off. But I just think the teams that they have ahead of them, I mean, it's teams that I have ahead of them. I put Georgia behind them just because I feel like I'm also very superstitious, and I don't want to jinx my dog. So I'm giving, if Kirby Smart is listening to this, I'm giving him bullet board material. I'm going to say it. Georgia's not as good as Texas. Yeah, put that on the big screens in the weight room. No, I just think Texas, I legit have them as a national title contender, and everybody else I feel like is talking about how they're not. They are just not there. And there's definitely people in the world that believe Texas can win it all. I just think that roster is unbelievable. They spent all the money. Do you think the money is working at Texas? It obviously speaks numbers. They got who they wanted out of the transfer portal, but do you think that money is is worth it for these Texas fans? Because I feel like they're getting pissed.
Yeah.
If they don't.
You know, I think so.
Yeah.
Coleman and Manning is going to be, it's going to be a scary sight.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the Dogs. I think our defense is going to be great this year, but I think that it's going to be scary to go up against.
Yeah.
And I think with all this pressure on them, they have a chip on their shoulder. I think that it's only going to help them, and I do think the money has helped with Coleman and those running backs coming in.
Yeah.
I think their offense is going to be a really tough player to play against.
Yeah, I think they're going to be unreal. It's going to be fun. I feel like we said, I think Georgia and Texas are the two biggest contenders for the national title. I think they're on a collision course to meet Atlanta for the SEC championship. It's going to be so fun. I wish we played Texas again in the regular season because the past 2 years in Austin and then 1 year last year, both games were awesome. Obviously for Georgia fans, not so much for Texas fans. But I really do think it was it's must-see TV when those two brands, those two teams, and those two coaches especially go head-to-head.
For sure.
But let's go around the SEC a little bit. Go on down to Baton Rouge, the Bayou. Talk about this LSU job that we're seeing right now. I think the LSU Lane Kiffin saga has been probably the craziest coaching carousel sequence of events, whatever you want to call it, maybe in college football history. And the coolest part is we get to see them go against each other, for Ole Miss and LSU, that is, in week 3 of the college football season. It's going to be freaking insane.
Yeah.
Let me hear your first take just on what Lane, his expectations are with LSU. What are your thoughts? Just initial thoughts of Lane at LSU.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've got 53 new players on the roster. He went in and completely transformed what they've got, but they gave him the money to do so.
Yeah.
And I think we saw what he did in Oxford, and I think that he can do that again with the talent that he's come in with on this team. I think that they have the ability to make the playoffs, but I don't think it's going to be a all or nothing type of thing. I think he has to develop that depth to prove that they're going to be a sustainable team.
Yeah, no, I think the depth is a big part of what college football is now. Like in those 2 national championship runs that Georgia had in 21 and 22, we just had depth all over the field. We had NFL first-round picks at playing third string on those rosters, which was just insane to think about. But that's like a lost art in college football because if these kids are buried in the depth charts and know they're probably an NFL guy, they're just transferring, they're jumping ship. So we don't see that. LSU, with that money, has created some depth in year 1. I feel like there's going to be growing pains early in the season for LSU and the Lane Kiffin, entering the program. We talked about it with baseball, but like just that conglomerate of transfers, I feel like in football it's even harder than baseball because you've got so many personalities in the locker room. You've got 105 dudes, all fighting for 22 spots and on the starting lineup, and it's very combative, very competitive locker room, and I do think Lane has handled that. He did it at Ole Miss. He proved himself there. But I just worry about I'm more so worried about the growing pains at the beginning of the year and if that rattles them and takes them down for good. Like if the players just lose motivation, like kind of what we saw with like Penn State last year. Like if they lost that Oregon game and then they lose two more to UCLA and Northwestern. Like the wheels just fell off. Like it was bad. So I worry that all those personalities under a first-year head coach just kind of lose that motivation. But then again, I think of Lane, I think of his offense. I looked at this stat today. Since they've put microphones in quarterbacks' helmets, if Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss, our offensive coordinator head coach duo, in the quarterback's ear, they lead the country in passing touchdowns, passing yards, and points, total points per game, every single, for the past, 3 years now that they've had that. Like, they are offensive geniuses, and I think they're going to figure it out. And so I think about that, and I'm like, if Ole Miss keeps the wheels on the bus and they keep rolling, they get over, maybe they lose 2 early games, but if they start humming late in the season, they're a threat, and they're scary, and they're terrifying, and whatever you want to say about them. But I'm looking forward to it. I think Sam Levitt's going to be a good quarterback. Any other thoughts on Lane at LSU?
I agree with you. I think that there's going to be a lot of tension starting off in the beginning, but I think if anyone can do it, I think Lane can do it, especially with Levitt at the QB spot. I think that he's going to be a good leader for them, and Lane will coach him all the way through it. So,
yeah, totally. It's going to be fun to watch. I've got them going to the playoff. I've got them winning a playoff game. But I wanted to ask you, because I've done my bracket. I can't even remember it off the top of my head. I can pull it up. But Let's just get your semis. Like, let's just talk about who's your Final Four, and then from there, maybe we can pick a national championship game and a national champion.
Yeah.
So let's hear. Let's hear.
I've got Notre Dame,
Okay.
Miami,
Yep.
Ohio State,
Yep.
and Georgia.
Love it. I freaking love it. I think I had, gosh, I can't even remember. I have Texas and Georgia both in there,
Okay.
and then I've got, I think, Notre Dame and Ohio State.
Yep.
I think that's what I had. Maybe Notre Dame and Miami. But we're very similar. I've got two SEC teams, and I've got them on opposite sides of the bracket.
Okay.
And so I've got them meeting in the national championship.
Okay.
So
Wow.
an all SEC national championship game. No SEC team has even been to the national championship in 3 years. And then if that happens, we're guaranteed an SEC team to win the national championship. But keep going. I interrupt. Keep
Yeah.
going.
Why do you not have Miami? It's my question.
So I am big. I think trenches in the offensive line, defensive line win football games. And Mario Cristobal is one of the best offensive and defensive line minds in college football at the head coaching position. But they lose Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor, both first-round picks on that defensive line. They were the anchors, they were the rocks, they were the cornerstones of that defense, of that team in their playoff run last year, and they were oh so close to beating Indiana. They lose both of them. I find it hard to replace two studs like that. And I think once you get into these deep into the playoff runs, you have to rely on those trenches and you have to shut down run games. Because once you get to that stage of the college football season, late in the year, we're playing in January at this point, which is insane to me. That's another point of conversation. But you're going to have some injuries, and these teams, these offenses are going to rely on their run game to get things going. And if they don't have those two defensive linemen, that's like what their catalyst was against Ohio State, against Ole Miss, and against Indiana in their playoff run last year. So you don't have those two guys, and you're starting to lean on some first-year starters. I know they'll have a full season under their belts. I just worry about it a little bit. So that's why I'm a little off on Miami. But if they get it figured out, then I think Miami is probably one of the better rosters in all of college football. So
Yeah,
now,
I agree. I think that's a great take.
Yeah.
I agree with that take.
Yeah.
I will say, though, Darian Mensah is going to come in.
He's so good.
I mean, I'm excited to watch
Yeah.
him play. So
He's gonna be
And
awesome.
he's a Heisman contender this year for sure, too.
Oh,
so
100%.
yeah, I think he's going to be really fun to watch. But
Yeah.
on the other side of things, Notre Dame, you know, I'm going to go – I don't love Notre Dame.
Really?
I don't love Notre Dame, but I'm still going to pick them to be my national champion this year.
Wow.
It's more of a personal thing why I don't like them, but I think that their schedule is they have an easy route,
Cupcake.
and I think Marcus, I think he can do it. You
Yeah.
know, I think their team this year, their roster this year is going to be able to do it, and like you said, they have a cupcake schedule this year.
Yeah, it's weird how you look at college football now. Like, everybody's hating on Notre Dame. They can't really fix that. Like, it's not on Marcus Freeman or any of the players that they have an easy schedule. Hardest game on that schedule will obviously be Miami. They got BYU, they got Navy, who's maybe the group of 5 contender for that 12th spot in the playoff. But it's kind of like, yes, you have less leeway, because if you drop more than one game on that schedule, then you're probably missing the playoff. But you face 11 easy teams in Miami. You're going to be one of the healthiest rosters entering the playoff, and you kind of win the schedule lottery, if that makes sense. Like, you have the likelihood of being just 100% on both sides of the ball, and then it's just putting yourself up against the test of actual good teams. I think if Notre Dame goes 12-0 with, obviously beating Miami, even though they don't play in a conference championship game, I think the committee just loves Notre Dame and they love publicity, and they put them at number 1 entering the college football playoff. That's what I have them as my preseason. I have them at number 2, but entering the playoff, I've got them as a 1 seed, because I think these Big Ten, these SEC teams are going to drop a game, whether it's in the conference championship or it's later or earlier in the season. So Notre Dame's scary though.
Yeah.
CJ Carr, he's unreal, dude. And he put on some weight, some muscle. He looks like an absolute unit. He's freaky. They lose Jeremiah Love, but their running back room, Anais Williams, I think they're going to take a little step back, because Jeremiah Love was a freakish talent, but I think they're still going to be really talented.
I think losing Love gave Carr last year gave him the room to grow.
Yeah.
Without having as much eyes on him, because you can just give it to Love. So I think that he is insane.
Yeah.
He's awesome. So I think that he's going to take them all. Him and Marcus are going to take them all away.
Yeah, I like Marcus Freeman a lot too. He's got a bad taste in his mouth from losing the national championship at 24, and then obviously last year getting cut from the playoff, a snub. So the bad taste, the chip on the shoulder, I think that's a serious, like, a revenge factor almost. Like, that plays a part in college football, especially with these 18 and 22-year-olds that, like, the smallest of things can affect their emotions, personalities, whatever. But I think that affects them in a positive way this year, like, oh, we're going to show the world. So I'm excited to see it, and Notre Dame's going to be a fun watch.
On the other side, I think Georgia, we do have a hard schedule, and I think the committee sees that.
Yeah.
We've got Gunnar and Frazier returning. We've got Bowens also in that running back spot. I mean, Bolden and Ellis Robinson, I think our defense is going to be very similar to our 2020-2021 defense.
Yeah.
And I think that is going to put teams a run for their money.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, I'm obviously a Georgia fan. So
right.
I don't know how much I can say.
Yeah.
But I do think that we're going to be the strongest team in the SEC right next to Texas.
Yeah, I think the defense is going to get back to those ways like you talked about of those national title winning teams. We talked about the depth a little bit. Depth is a lost art of college football, but this team, it just feels like, it's crazy. We're the youngest roster in college football this season, and it doesn't feel like it because we were the youngest roster last year too, so we started freshmen and sophomores. Those guys have a year under their belt. Like, I go to Elijah Griffin. That kid's going to be a freak on the defensive line. I go to Chris Cole at linebacker, Justin Williams at linebacker, both sophomores last year. They're juniors now. And that linebacker room with Raylan Wilson as the kind of captain of that defense, it's going to be freaky. KJ Bolden, like you said, Ellis Robinson, like there's just so many dudes. And then behind them, it feels like we have depth. And that's, like I said, a lost art in college football. I do think this Georgia defense, though, is going to be probably the best in the country. I'm going to stamp it right now. They're the best. They're the best defense in the country after the 2026 season, whether that's allowing the least amount of points, whatever. And I do think the SEC is a little different from the Big Ten in that it's still somewhat defensively driven. Like, you've got some high-powered offenses. Obviously, Lane at LSU, they're going to be throwing it all across the field. I think with Arch at Texas, you're going to be throwing it all across the field. But I still think defense wins the SEC. And I think Georgia, for that reason, is your SEC champ. I think they enter the playoff as one of the most talented teams, the top 4 seed, getting the bye. And I've got them going to my national championship game, losing to Texas. That's also a superstition thing. So you've got Georgia on the other side coming out. Is that who you got?
So
playing
I've got
Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Okay, so Notre Dame beating Georgia.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm gonna go with. And I think last year was tough for Georgia. So
yeah.
I think it's gonna play a part. It's gonna get into our heads. So
yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, it's the past 2 years have sucked. Like, I mean, they haven't. We've won back-to-back SEC championships, and everybody talks about how those are down years for Georgia, which is hard to believe, but that's just the standard of what Kirby Smart has built here. But that loss to Notre Dame ate me alive. I can't stop thinking about it. Like, it haunts me in my nightmares. And then last year against Ole Miss, talk about haunting me in my nightmares. Trinidad Chambliss is the demon in my nightmares. He's terrible. He's the monster underneath my bed. So it sucks that we've been eliminated in both of our first playoff games the past 2 years. I do think we get further. I've got us losing in the national championship. You've got us losing in the national championship. I know that's probably going to piss off our Georgia fan base, but who cares? It's also a little superstitious. Like, I can't pick Georgia to win the national championship. I feel like I'm going to jinx them. So put it on the bulletin board. Once again, we're going to play this podcast in the weight room at Georgia while we're lifting, and we'll be pumping serious weight. It's going to be awesome. All right, I want to talk about our friends at First American Bank and Trust. When it comes to your money, you want a bank you can actually trust. That's why First American Bank and Trust has been serving this community with a personal touch you just won't find at the big banks. Whether you're opening your first account, growing your business, or planning for the future, their team is there to help every step of the way with real people, real solutions, and real relationships. They are not only the presenting sponsor of the Hammy Show, but they are my personal bank that I deal with every single day. I would not be here without them, and I cannot appreciate them more for both helping out the Hammy Show and me personally. You walk in, it's a smile, it's that personal touch I was talking about, a one-on-one conversation, and we cannot thank First American enough. So if you're ready to beat for better banking, make the switch today. First American Bank and Trust, where your future comes first, ladies and gentlemen. Another quick ad read. We're going to run through a couple of these. We've got a big college football season coming your way. The Hammy Show is on the road every single weekend of the college football season, and it would not be possible without Hughes Subaru powering that operation. If you're looking for a car that can handle your everyday life and your weekend adventures, that's where Hughes Subaru comes in. At Hughes Subaru, you're getting more than just a vehicle. You're getting reliability, safety, and performance you can count on. From the versatile Outback to the sporty Crosstrek, Subaru is built to take you wherever you want to go. And at Hughes Subaru, the experience is just as strong as the lineup. Friendly service, a team that actually listens, and a commitment to helping you find the perfect fit for a vehicle. So whether you're upgrading your ride or buying your first car, Hughes Subaru is the place to go, and they are powering the Hammy Show on the road as we hit multiple college campuses across the United States of America. It's going to be awesome. And finally, Legacy Structures, they are bringing you our live streams every single Tuesday and Thursday. They have been an awesome contributor to the Hammy Show. Based in the Southeast, they specialize in building high-quality, fully custom structures designed to fit your lifestyle. No cookie-cutter builds, just craftsmanship, durability, and your vision brought to life. From start to finish, they will handle it all. So if you're ready to build something that lasts, check out Legacy Structures today. I just went to a Braves game. They built a little shaded structure next to the wiffle ball field and the battery. It's freaking awesome. It looks like a Delta wing. It's so cool. But Legacy Structures, huge thank you to them for bringing you our live streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays. What is your legacy? Well, if you use Legacy Structures, you will have the best build in the world. We appreciate them wholeheartedly. Let's get back to college football, though, Faith. So, we talked a little bit about the SEC, Texas, LSU. We talked about your playoff predictions. But what is one thing that just sticks out to you about this college football season? Whether that's a headline, a game, a coach, a player. What is like something that people should keep their eye on in the college football world entering the 2026 season?
I'm going to go with a game.
Okay.
Ohio State, Texas, September 12th, early in the season. I think that game could potentially be the deciding factor for the rest of the season, for playoff implications for the national champion. I think if Arch Manning can get through that game, he will sit at the top of Heisman odds for the remainder of the season.
Yeah.
You know, Ohio State's coming back with saying Jeremiah Smith, two also Heisman contenders again this year. So that game is going to be electric. I mean, people are still going to be figuring some stuff out roster-wise, you know, play-wise, but that game will be the start of the rest of the season for both Manning and Texas, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's probably number one. I mean, that game, I think LSU Ole Miss, just because of the Lane Kiffin drama, is going to be one of the crazier environments. But last year, we kind of got robbed of what could have been an instant classic. Ohio State and Texas, both with new quarterbacks in Sayin and Arch, they kick off the year. It was the noon game. It was Lee Corso's final game on College Game Day. It had all of this hype. It's number one versus number two, which has never happened in college football, that the number one and two team played in week one entering the season. And it was a terrible game. Arch looked terrible. Julian Sayin, he didn't look bad, but Ohio State just didn't, reveal a lot. They just did enough to beat Texas. I think the final score was, 14-7? It could have been, or it was hyped up to be, one of the greatest games. I do think it's a product of having two first-year starting quarterbacks last season, but with all of that talent returning this year, I think that game, and it's a little bit deeper into the season. It's week, is it two? Week two?
Yeah.
Week two, so it's not that much deeper. But you at least get something under your belt. You have a little bit of momentum. It's not the game one jitters and all that stuff. And it's in Austin, which I think is an awesome stadium, and it's going to be electric. Texas fans are going to let the Ohio State fans know what it means to be bigger in Texas. It's going to be crazy. But I just think with that talent and those guys coming back for their full second years of starting, Heisman contenders, top 5 teams, it's going to be juiced up, and we're going to see a much better product on the field. If you could pick one, who's winning that game?
I'm going to take Texas.
Okay, I love it. I love it. So this is my take on either one of those. If Texas loses, I think, kind of like I talked about with LSU, the wheels could fall off like Penn State did last year. If Texas loses and the rumors start swirling of, Sark can't win the big one, Sark can't beat those top-tiered opponents like Ohio State and Georgia, then I think it turns into a little bit of a potential. I'm not going to say the wheels will fall off, but the potential is there for the wheels to fall off. That drama, the talking, it kind of gets to your head. I don't care if you are the most stoic person in college football. you start hearing, you can't ignore all of the media, is what I'm saying. And so I feel like if Texas loses and those rumors swirl, it could be the potential for the wheels to fall off. Now, if Texas wins, I don't see Ohio State having the wheels fall off. I think Ryan Day has been in that system. I think they have too much talent across the roster to really let that happen. But I just think Texas has the higher likelihood of that happening. It's going to be an all-time game. I don't know who to pick. I feel like since it's in Austin, you got to roll with Texas. But then again, like, Ohio State's freaky good. Who's the better quarterback in that game, Sayin or Arch? I mean, you got Texas winning, so I guess it's Arch.
Yeah, but I do think Sayin is going to be more comfortable than Arch. Even though it is at home, he still dealt with all that scrutiny last year.
Yeah.
It's only week 2. I think he's still going to have some of that in the back of his head. So I think Sayin and Smith will be a little bit more comfortable with each other on the field. But I'm going to go with Texas.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. I think, like I said, we've got both of these teams coming in, second-year starting quarterbacks, and I just think the product on the field will be much higher than last year. I mean, I know it'll be Arch's only second game throwing to Cam Coleman, but that's going to be lethal. Those two running backs. Obviously, Jeremiah Smith and Julian Sayin are going to be electric on the other side. It's going to be awesome, and I think that is the perfect thing for every college football fan to keep their eye on.
You want behind-the-scenes coverage? You want anything you can imagine on social media? Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at @_Hammy Show. It is the best social media account in all of sports, I can promise you that. From skits to documentaries, we've got it all here on Instagram and TikTok with The Hammy Show. Hit that follow button and you can stay up to date on anything and everything we post to social media. Now, let's get back to the show.
So we talked about it a little bit earlier and how the SEC has not had a national champion in 3 years, not even had a team playing for the national championship. I've got Georgia and Texas in my national championship. You've got Georgia playing Notre Dame. What does it take for the SEC to get back to the dominance that they had, before, like when Georgia was winning national championships, when Alabama was dominating the sport? It feels like it's flipped on its head and the Big Ten runs the sport. What does it take for the SEC to get back on top for you?
I think it takes more playoff wins.
Yeah.
I think regular season, everybody knows the SEC schedule is harder, and we've proven that, but once we get to when it matters more, we can't seem to really hit the nail on the head with that one. And I think you said it with Texas and Georgia going. And like I said earlier, I do believe Texas and Georgia are the best teams in the SEC.
Yeah.
Sark and Kirby Smart have the opportunity to do that this year with the talent that they have. Georgia's returning roster, Texas coming in. I think that they have the talent to do it. We just need to win the big games when it matters more.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, that's what the Big Ten has won the most.
Exactly.
And it's like the lone argument that every SEC biased fan is resting on and clinging to is that the middle of the pack and the bottom of the SEC are more talented than the middle and the bottom of the Big Ten. And I think it's kind of a BS argument because it's like, yes, during the regular season, us going to South Carolina and playing a mid-tiered SEC team in Columbia is still a terrifying game. That atmosphere, the talent they have on those rosters, opposed to Indiana or Oregon or Ohio State going to play Purdue. It's like Purdue sucks. And so I get the argument, but it's just like, it's kind of invalid because when it matters most, like you said, that's when we count who's the better conference. I also think it's kind of a stupid argument because I'm a fan of an SEC school. I'm not an SEC fan. Like, I think if you pull for Alabama in a bowl game just because they're in the SEC, it's like pulling for the devil because he's in the Bible. I think it's so stupid. So I'm not really like SEC biased or Big Ten biased. Obviously, I want Georgia to win the SEC, but I don't care about like if Texas wins the national championship. That would piss me off more than Ohio State winning the national championship. So I hate it when people say I'm an SEC fan or an SEC homer. It's like, no, you're probably a fan of an SEC school. If you're an SEC fan, like, of the conference, you're just a psychopath. Like, how can you just root for Georgia and Texas and Alabama and Auburn on, like, any given stage? It's dumb to me. But, yeah, so we've both got SEC teams going to the national championship game. Both lose. Well, I've got an SEC team winning in Texas, but you've got Georgia losing. Notre Dame's an independent. Does that push the agenda that the SEC is back because they have a team in the national championship? Or even though they lost in the national championship, is it like, oh, the SEC is still worse?
No, I think it still does. The fact that this is one reason why I don't like Notre Dame is because they're not in a conference.
Yeah, it's
personal
so annoying.
reason, but I think it still pushes that SEC is back because we will be there, and if we have Texas up there as well, I think it still does more for the SEC than if not. So.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's going to be an interesting year, and I think the drama, not only that, but the coaching carousel, like, it's just going to be, college football's the greatest. I'm so ready to get back out there. Like, I'm so pumped. All right, so we talked a lot about Arch, talked a little bit about Julian Sain and Jeremiah Smith, their Heisman contending, CJ Carr, who else we talked? Darian Mensah, Miami. Who is your Heisman pick? Because we've hinted at a lot of quarterbacks playing really well, even Jeremiah Smith playing really well. But who's your guy that is going to be hoisting that trophy in New York come December?
Okay, so I'm posing two situations here.
Okay.
I've technically got two right now. Arch depends on week 2 game.
Yep.
That's for me. If he wins that, I've got him winning the Heisman.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I'm really excited about Darian Mensah at Miami, and I think Miami has great weapons for him on the offense, and he did awesome at Duke, so it's going to be great to see what he can do there, and I think he is able to do it. If he has a breakout first 2-3 games, I think he's going to sit at the top of the odds for the remainder of the season and be a really strong contender.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, it's crazy to think that, like, Carson Beck took Miami to a national championship. Screw Carson Beck, excuse me, but nobody likes him here in Athens. But I feel like they upgraded at quarterback. Like, I think Darian Mensah is a 10 times better quarterback than Carson Beck. And I know everybody's going to be like, oh, he just balled out in the Hall of Fame game in the preseason. It's the preseason in the NFL. I don't care. He's playing against dudes that wouldn't start on Georgia's roster this year. So, find that dumb. But I think Darian Mensah, what he did at Duke, he had nothing around him. If they put out this stat, which is kind of a BS stat, but I kind of like it. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but it's adjusted completion percentage. Duke had the most drops in college football last year. If drops that hit the wide receivers in the hand, if they catch half of those balls, then Darian Mensah is way at the top, head and shoulders above the sport for completion percentage and efficiency among all college football quarterbacks. Very impressive. I think when he gets to Miami, he's got a guy in Malachi Tony, a receiver. He's got a running back behind him in Mark Fletcher that's going to be dominant in the run game. They are going to be freaky, and if they can catch the ball, then Darian Mensah is way up there in my Heisman odds. So I like that pick a lot. Do you like Trinidad?
I mean, I don't know. I know he's up there right now, but I don't think that he's enough of a leader to take that Heisman Trophy back home.
Yeah, I can see it.
Is that what you're picking?
I'm picking Trinidad to win the Heisman. I think even though they lose Lane, I think they lost a little bit more, like Daquan Wright, who's now playing at LSU after going to the NFL. But they lose a tight end. They lose some receivers. I think Trinidad is going to be Superman and have to do it all. He's got one of the best running backs in college football in Kawan Lacey next to him in that backfield. But I think it's going to be them, a combined effort that get Ole Miss where they want to be, and that's back in the playoff. I think Ole Miss is a playoff team, even though Lane Kiffin's not there anymore, but I liked what I saw out of Pete Golding. I know it's like he chugged a Red Bull and coached 3 games, but I think with a full season under his belt and with those 2 guys leading your offense, I think Ole Miss can be good. But I've got Trinidad. What I saw, mainly what contributes to my decision, is what I saw in the Sugar Bowl. I was there when they beat us, and it's terrifying what he did against us. Like, that is one of the scariest performances I've ever seen, and the fact that he's coming back to college football is crazy. He's going to be really good. I'm high on Trinidad.
If he can do it, I'll give it to you.
Yeah,
so
I'm
excited to watch him perform this year.
It'll be fun. That game in Oxford this year for the Dogs terrifies me. Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a doozy. It's going to be a big doozy.
Sure.
All right, so speaking of the Dogs, since you are a Georgia student, since we are Georgia fans, and we are here in Athens, Georgia, we got to talk about the Dogs. We haven't talked about them a lot. We both got them in the national championship game, but we've got them losing. Talked about them a little bit. What's your main thing for this Georgia team that gets them to where they want to be, that is the key factor to their success?
Yeah, I think this year it's going to be their defense.
Yeah.
Defense wins championships, and I think our defense, like I said earlier, is very similar to our national championship defenses. I think that's going to be what does it for us because we have so much depth. Our secondary this year is going to be awesome. I'm really excited to see that. And, you know, Gunner's got all of the maturity he needs now, and people underestimated him, and it worked in his favor.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to do the same thing this year, especially with Nate Frazier in our running back room. Got depth there as well. Kirby Smart. I think he's the best of the best, so I'm gonna stick with that.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Kirby is here, it feels like the standard of success will just be that high. I mean, it's the bar that he has set is unprecedented in Georgia football history, and I do think Gunner takes a step forward. I love how he's being underrated again. Like last year, everybody was like, I mean, Feinbaum said it. He was like, yeah, Georgia can't compete because of their quarterback. Like, he will lose them games rather than win them games. What is Gunner do? Week 3 against Tennessee, he wins us that ball game. I mean, he goes for over 300 yards. He finds London Humphreys on 4th and 7, just freak throw, put it right in the breadbasket. So I love this underrated talk for Gunner. I think he's going to prove some haters wrong. I mean, he finished 7th in the Heisman voting last year. Like, it's crazy that people are still underrating him and saying that he can't take that step forward. Do I think he's a Heisman winner? No. But I don't think Georgia is the Heisman winning type of team because we don't just leave the ball in one dude's hands. We spread it out. We've got enough athletes across the field, and that's what I'm really excited about. Everybody's questioning our wide receiver room, but I look at it as a more of a pass-catching unit, not just wide receivers. I include tight ends with that. We've got the best tight end room in the country. I think we have the best offensive line in the country. We've got the best linebacker room in the country. There are so many categories and position groups that Georgia is the best in the SEC or the country. It's crazy. But I'm with you on defense. I think if we get back to dominating football games, like allowing 10 points per game like we did in 21 and 22, then Georgia is going to be a tough out, no matter what. So, you hinted toward it, but I had this question phrased. Is Kirby the best coach in college football still? Did Cignetti pass him, or is Kirby still on top?
No, I think Kirby's on top.
Yeah.
With Saban gone, I think Kirby's on top.
I think you have. I mean, his sustained success, it's you can't give it to Kurt Cignetti. Yes, he flipped the program around in 2 years, and they're the worst college football program in history, statistically speaking. But Kirby sustained. God, that's a hard thing to say. Sustained success over the past decade. He's at the top of the sport. He's the best coach in football. Like I said, as long as he's the head coach here, we're going to be a national title contender. All right, so Dogs predictions. You've got them going to the national championship, but let's get a little record prediction. Maybe do they win the SEC championship? What are we feeling? It's a little more detailed prediction.
Okay, I think we are going to win the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
I think I am scared for our away schedule this year. Man, you said it earlier, Ole Miss is going to be scary. I know they don't have Kiffin, but I think that could be the game that we go right underneath.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it's Ole Miss is the highest likelihood, but I can see us going 12-0. Like, feels like we got the monkey off the back. I mean, heck yeah. I feel like we got the monkey off the back with Bama last year in the SEC championship, and then I feel like Ole Miss, talked about that revenge factor a little bit. The revenge factor is real in college football, and I think Kirby's pissed. I mean, Ole Miss is one of 3 schools in the SEC that Kirby has a losing record to. All others, he has a winning record against. Ole Miss, tested his first year, absolutely embarrassed us in Oxford. We lose 2 years ago in 24 with Jackson Dart as their quarterback, and then last year, of course, in the Sugar Bowl. Kirby's 2-3 versus Ole Miss. The games that he's won, absolutely just waxed. Put him, just beat the brakes off of him. I think Kirby wants to do that again. I think he is so pissed and so aggravated with how his team has performed against Ole Miss under his tenure at the University of Georgia. So I feel like the revenge game is upon us, and I think we get back at Ole Miss. The game that scares me that's off the radar, like Oklahoma's going to be the best game here. Mm-hmm. I think Oklahoma's going to have a really good defense, and it's early in the season, so it's like that's the moment that Georgia has to step up to the plate.
Yeah, that's our true test,
Yeah, but South Carolina, week 11, right before Georgia Tech, and probably a potential SEC championship game if we're 11-0 or 10-0 entering that game. Game terrifies me. I feel like Shane Beamer is going to be fired. They're going to have an interim head coach. And that interim head coach magic is a real thing, just like the revenge factor. I think they're going to have a new head coach, and I think that game is going to be a lot tighter than people expect.
Yeah.
I think we get the job done. We're going to be favored in every single game this year. But oh my God, it's crazy. It's crazy to think. I don't want to say we're going to get 12 from now. I'm going to say 11-1.
Yeah.
One of those 3 games we're going to drop. We're going to get to the SEC championship. We're going to beat Texas in the SEC championship. Do you have us playing Texas?
Yeah.
Okay. Beat Texas in the SEC championship. Be a top 4 seed. I've got us going to the national championship. I mean, you do too.
Yeah.
Be an awesome year until the national championship.
Awesome.
It would hurt. It would hurt.
It would hurt really bad.
It would hurt
Especially to
terribly.
be against Notre Dame is what I have.
Yeah.
That would hurt even more.
I think if it's Notre Dame, I'm going to. I don't know.
I don't know if I can watch.
I don't know either, dude. They piss me off so much. Then again, everybody pisses me off except Georgia, so I can't really say that. But yeah, Notre Dame would really hurt because it's like they had a cupcake schedule and then they still are the better team. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Pains me. All right. Well, that is all we have for you today, ladies and gentlemen. The introduction of Faith Stokes to the Hammy Show, the newest intern, the newest member of this team. We are absolutely pumped to have her joining us on the Hammy Show. It is no longer a one-man band. I've got a partner in crime. I'm pumped about this. It's going to be awesome. Like I said, you'll see much more of her face. Faith, thank you again for coming on. This has been awesome. You know your stuff, and I'm pumped to keep talking college football with you. But like I said, we are presented by First American Bank and Trust, and today the Hammy Show is live at Willie B's. Willie B's Wednesday. It's your party headquarters, your tailgate headquarters. Anything you need with fried chicken, they've got you covered, whether that's under your tent on a Saturday at tailgate or that's a birthday party for your 5-year-old daughter. It doesn't matter, Willie B's has you covered. Like I said, 2 locations here in Athens, one on Jefferson Road and right here on Lexington Road, attached to Jones Petroleum. We are pumped to be here every single Wednesday. We will see you next Wednesday. I'm your host, Hammy Culpepper. This is intern Faith Stokes, and we are the Hammy Show. We will see you next time, ladies and gentlemen. As always, ham it up.
Quick pause in the show to remind you to get your very own Hammy Show merch. It's the best merch in the entire game, and I can promise you that. You will not be disappointed because for just $26, my friends, you can have this t-shirt. And I'll even throw in one of these little koozies for you. But my friends, all you have to do is DM me on Instagram or TikTok at @the_Hammy Show and secure your very own Hammy Show t-shirt. We appreciate you.